Oh, here we are, folks. Here we go. We so doing this. We so streaming right now. It's 5:20. Not at all 4:20. But, you know, sometimes we get indisposed around that time. Ain't nothing to be done about it is all I'm saying. Let's see here. What are we playing? Shining Force 2? Okay. I can play that. You're finally here. You look so confused. You don't know why you're here. Sorry, just got to point out for the stream folk that I'm narrating this beast. Yes, I used a spell on you. Where are you going? You can't escape from this mystery forest unless you help me. I hate mystery forests. I can't be clearer about that, you know. They're the worst. So what are we going to do? We're going to continue our adventures as Ziggy. Ziggy, yes, I knew it. Now good luck. You have no time to waste. Yeah, so we just started promoting guys. It's an exciting time for the Force. Ziggy, a hero. You kind of got to see him in action, but, you know, he'll actually get even more powerful. He gets some pretty sick swords. Y'all like swords. Jaha the Baron is also a newly promoted character, and we also got Slade the Ninja. Now, Slade is one of those rare, not main characters that gets a portrait upgrade, as well as a character on the map and in combat upgrade. But never mind all that. Okay, no random fight. That's good. We're going to go try to take, I believe it's Taros on again. This guy's an absolute beast, and only Ziggy can harm him, so it's not ideal. But on the upside, there's plenty of enemies here we can poach for experience points and get our characters leveled up. I just hope to not have to do it too many times. I beat the Kraken in one shot, which is pretty good in my experience. Would be amazing if we could get Ziggy some levels, though. So we'll try to do that. I think I saw that he was at 68 out of 100 experience, so that shouldn't be too tough to do. Sarah, Kazan, and... well, maybe not Kazan so much, but Sarah and Chester can actually afford to lag behind a bit when it comes to upgrading or promoting them. Characters like Peter and Geralt and Vlad I would want promoted as soon as possible, however. So you'll notice I'm not, you know, rushing out to go meet this bad guy. Mostly because he is an archer, and I need to keep my distance from him. Chester attacks, damages the arrow launcher for 11 damage. He gains 16 experience points. It's a pity Jaha gets to go first. He can't quite reach that soul sower, so we're just going to move him over here to intercept. There's something behind that pillar. A gargoyle behind that pillar. Tricky little gargoyle. Here's the new Slade. So not only does he get a sick new ninja outfit, but he does like this cool thing where he jumps up in the air and comes down and stabs the guy with a sword backwards. Which I think we can all agree might be the ninjaest of all moves. Especially if you're a Mickey Mouse lookalike that recently learned how to jump. Oh, Ziggy does 18 damage to the arrow launcher and earns 16 experience points. Not quite enough to level him up. We will move Kazan in to seal the deal on this gargoyle with a Blaze 2. Now, you notice I was talking about special promotion items for Chester and Sarah, and how I could sort of wait on leveling them up because of that. Well, Kazan's kind of in the same boat as well, except once I get to Creed's house, at the end of Creed's house, you're given the choice of one of 4 characters you can bring along with you in the Force right away, and then you unlock the other characters. We're going to get a kill on this thing with May. Hold that thought. Bam. She did 14 damage. She does decent damage. And she levels up to 18. HP up by 1, attack up by 1, defense up by 1, agility up by 1. Okay. Nobody on my team's really been hit yet. We'll send a little crew of guys to deal with that soul sower. No one should have to go on their own. Oh, this gargoyle is jumping right to May. Thwack, 13 damage. That gargoyle is retreating. Taros, that's the character that we're worried about. So it absolutely behooves me to pick up a couple levels on Ziggy, aka Bowie, at this juncture. Birdman Luke will take a swing here at this gargoyle. 15 damage. He earns 20 experience points. Move Kazan up to join the group. I should leave that gargoyle for Bowie, I feel like. Let's do that right now. Oh, his cloak is so billowy. Oh, gargoyle quickly dodged the attack. That's bogus. Alright, we'll send in Jaha against the Soul Sower. So that's what he looks like now. He's got like a shield. He can use swords instead of axes if I so wish, is basically his biggest new feature. The difference between the two promotions is that if he'd gone to Gladiator, which is what warriors normally promote into, he would have more defense, but wouldn't have as much damage options. Because I think, I'm pretty sure, we're going to have to let May kill this guy too. And she does. 23 damage. Japers. She must do extra damage against flying units or something, because she's an archer. I don't know if that's a mechanic. I'm sure you could find out on websites. Master Mage cast Blaze level 2. Anyway, I think I was talking about Kazan. There is also a secret promotion item to make him into a better class. But because there's 4 characters at the end of Creed's house, I have the option of picking up any of those characters, and in theory, they're an alternate to any of these characters that I would be promoting. And I looked it up the other day, and of the wizards that you can promote into the Prestige Wizard class, which is really just Kazan and this other guy, the other guy is just a little bit sweeter. But that's sweet enough. Peter does 11 damage to Soul Sower, kills it, gets 49 experience and levels up to 19, HP up by 1, attack up by 2, defense up by 1, agility up by 1. Now, Peter's getting pretty beefy. He's about to get promoted, which is nice. Oh, I didn't heal May. Oh. Okay, that golem hits Chester for 7 damage. Chester counterattacks. A critical hit, 7 damage. Not a lot of damage, but that's okay. Pardon me. So I'm gonna just fireball these trifling B words. Golem gets damaged by 11, but manages to stay alive. Master Mage is going to take less damage because they've got magic resistance. Sad but true, but they do not have Wolfman resistance. So here comes Geralt doing 20 damage to the Master Mage. He gets 21 experience, and he levels up to 19. And that is phenomenal. Okay, Luke is going to go on the left flank. Chester the Knit will hit that golem. And then we'll kill off the Master Mage with Slade. Like that. 22 damage. Ah, oh, so good. He only gets 1 experience, though. It's better that than getting fireballed, though. I'm sure we can all agree. Okay, so it is possible we'll lose this fight again. We haven't managed to level up Ziggy even once. So I'm just preparing everyone for that eventuality. But in that case, what I'd like to do is also get a couple more characters promoted. Oh, Ziggy's straight up getting attacked. He gets 10 damage. Gargoyle gets a second attack for another 10 damage. Bogus. Vlad can't quite reach the Gargoyle. I'll send Sarah over to Ziggy to heal him up a bit. Geralt would be another character I'd really like to see promoted this fight. So we're going to make that happen. Faux show. Actually, Ziggy. Okay, he can't actually heal himself. I thought he had a medicinal herb. My bad. Wham! 23 damage to Gargoyle, and he got 7 experience points for his trouble. Pardon me. Somebody should be killing that Gargoyle. We're going to give it to either Peter or Vlad, I mean. That just seems nice and smart. Okay, we just healed up Ziggy to almost full health, so that's good. She levels up to 17, HP up by 2, MP up by 1, attack up by 1, defense up by 1. Pretty good. Now we can send Vlad in to throw his hat at this Gargoyle. And he got damaged by 12. Gargoyle was defeated. Vlad levels up to 49, but doesn't level up to 49. Excuse me. Gets 49 experience points. Does not level up from it. Quite disappointing. Taros beats his sword into his palm, endlessly waiting. No. Jaha gets hit for 2. Send Luke in to harass this arrow launcher. Does 15 damage, gains 22 experience points. We do want Geralt to take out probably the Soul Sower for his best chance at a level up. I don't think that Golem's going to give me much experience. Wham. We'll have Peter finish off the arrow launcher. He earns 49 experience. Lad quite can't catch the Golem. So we'll have May take a shot at it. She takes it out, 15 damage, earns 15 experience points. So even though he doesn't really need it, we're going to have Ziggy healed up to full. Be as mana efficient as possible about it. They're pulling back, which is not what I wanted them to do. Golem and Soul Sower aren't the fastest of units. Just arrange my party thusly. I want to dry out those ads. So here we go. It's coming after Geralt. He got damaged by 11. A solid hit. Ziggy will move up towards the stairs. Oh. Master Mage comes out to drop fireballs right on Luke. He takes 11 damage. A heavy attack. Sarah bringing up the rear. Vlad coming up as well. But then Peter, ever the Phoenix, flies in. He's going to take a hit from this Black Monk. 5 damage seems like nothing. Seems like nothing. Okay. Vlad the Bunny says the farce continues. Welcome back, Vlad. You're just in time to see me try to take on Taros again. I failed to level up Ziggy even once. Soul Sower got damaged by 9. That's the new Slade, though. You just got to see. It's a pity Geralt doesn't get to go later. Punch. 12 damage. Geralt earns 17 experience points. Birdman Luke flies in to attack this Master Mage. This dastardly Master Mage. He earns 17 experience points. Soul Sower hits Geralt for 12 more damage. That is terrible. Now, I could kill him off with Kazan. That is, in fact, what I probably should do. But shoulds are for chumps, I think we can all agree. Peter the Phoenix will fly over here and sing this Master Mage a song of death. He does not like the chords. Oh, Peter levels up to 20, so I can promote him. That's good. I actually kind of like unpromoted Peter's picture when compared to the new one he's about to get, but that's okay. They couldn't let a Phoenix look so goofy, I guess. Black Monk gets damaged by 20 because Jaha is a beast. See, the trouble here is if I don't take him out with arrows, he will heal. That's okay. Vlad is like our next project for level ups anyway. Vlad the Bunny apparently liked when I said Song of Your Doom. We can all agree it was a Doom song, though. It killed him. Vlad can't quite reach the Master Monk. Uh-oh. Peter getting too close. Taros uses his sword. Now Peter doesn't die. Oh, a heavy attack on Luke. He almost dies too. Luke will be spending the rest of the... Uh-oh. The rest of the fight probably hiding. Peter gets damaged by 6. Peter is quite the little beast. I think you've noticed by now. It's only going to get worse. Now again, I should be killing the Soul Sower with Kazan right there, but the truth of the matter is I want Geralt promoted as soon as possible. So he's going to get the kill, dealing 11 damage. Geralt gains 49 experience and doesn't level up. A hula hoop of poop. Ziggy, I don't want on the front lines quite yet. Other than to help the other side, there's no reason to advance any of these characters this way. Like, May is just going to get shot to death with lightning. So she's going to not tempt fate. Peter might bite the dust here, but again, he's a free revive. Oh, uses the blast spell. 6 damage. Jaha is going to basically cut this guy down with a critical hit. Totally saw it coming. 34 damage is a great critical hit. Peter also running away forever. Taros can't do anything. Vlad the Bunny says, I am playing some Dragon Ball FighterZ while watching the stream. I am jealous that you get to play that. I don't have a console that will run it. Maybe my PC if that isn't a thing, but I wouldn't do that, probably. Anyway, not a big Dragon Ball Z guy. I think we've talked about this, but that game looks friggin' amazing. I'm not even a big anime guy, to be honest with you. But just how good that game looks. I cannot get over it. It runs so smooth. I adore a fighter that runs so smooth. Well, Vlad just got lightning bolted. I should have saw that coming. I guess the video game world is unhappy at his namesake for playing Dragon Ball FighterZ. I don't know who Nappa is. Vlad the Bunny says he's playing the villain story arc, but Nappa sucks. I hope to get someone to replace him soon. The only villains I remember were like Frieza, who was like the biggest of deals. And then I guess like Vegeta and Piccolo were villains at one point, but they kind of changed their stripes, so to speak. I don't know who to finish this guy off with. Not Peter. I should send Geralt all the way over, but he's now going to start hitting Ziggy, which I can't have. Bang. 7 damage. It's not a lot of damage. No, Geralt. You're going to stay there. We're going to send the wizard in to do the complicated thing with the treasure chest. Oh, I guess you can't search in combat. I thought you could. Well, we'll move him back. And he'll just stay put too. This is boring, I understand, and I'm sorry. Vlad the Bunny says, I have Frieza right now. He is pretty awesome. I found an arc on the message boards about... a thread on the message boards about... how lazy the creator was to just have given Frieza like a chroma swap as some recent DLC or something. And just the people arguing about it were over the moon. It was ridiculous. They all had some pretty in-depth thoughts about like the world of Dragon Ball Z and like what was allowed and what was right and wrong and what editions were good and which weren't. Somebody at one point said we should just be happy that we have all these different options, and then somebody was just not having it. Typical internet stuff, you know. All right, here we go, guys. With absolutely no level ups, we're sending in Ziggy. As before, Sarah goes with him, hopefully to save him, probably to watch him die. Vlad the Bunny says, people hate things? News at 11. Taros got damaged by 12. Hooray! Ziggy leveled up to 2. That's great stuff. Look at all those gains. His HP went up by 2, his defense up by 2, and his agility up by 2, his attack up by 1. So he's never been better able to take a hit in his life. And that, my friends, is a good thing. But he's about to get electrocuted, which I don't think matters about his new shiny defense. Yeah, he takes 14 damage. Which isn't the most damage. We'll send Sarah in to heal him. Ziggy recovered 15 hit points. Anyway, I've watched more people play Dragon Ball FighterZ than I have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which is surprising to me because I really like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It might be my favorite fighting game ever. Which is probably not a popular opinion. Oh, he only did 10 damage. Come on, Ziggs. I will say I'm glad that he at least... Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Well, he's only taken like 13 damage from the physical attack, so that's not the worst. Sarah can't, like, save him indefinitely, but she should be able to keep him alive longer than Taros can do the same. Although he does get 2 attacks when I only get 1. Yep. Case in point. That ought to knock him right back down. Ziggy got damaged by 14. Vlad the Bunny says, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite really dropped the ball with fans. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is well liked and isn't an unpopular opinion. Well, that's good to know. I'm glad to know that I am not a barking lunatic. Because I don't play that many fighting games. There's, but the ones I like, I usually invest some time into. And like Street Fighter 4 was maybe the last one I played. And I wasn't great. I'm not amazing, but I liked it. My biggest problem is that I'm a Blanca guy, but I cannot reliably pull off like his ultra combos. Because of how much they ruin your thumb. Like if I'm playing Ryu and I have to do the like Super Hadoken, that shiz is no problem. But... doing like some sort of complicated backwards forwards loop with Blanca is not in my skill set, apparently. I am so glad I get to heal right now, although I don't think I can outrace him at this point. You know what I ought to do? I got it. We're going to run back a bit and then heal up fully. Uh-oh. Vlad the Bunny says, I'm a Sakura guy. I'm glad she made it into 5 now. They just added Blanca to 5, too, didn't they, not that long ago? I've been reading a blog recently called The Monsters Know. And it basically is a blog about the monsters that you fight in Dungeons and Dragons, like the monsters in their monsters manual or what have you. Oh, she only has enough for 1 heal. Uh-oh. Anyway, it's about how to do their default behavior to make them sort of plausible, interesting monsters. And the main thing about it is basically using advantages that they possess as advantages, making sure that they exploit them, trying to get a leg up through the means that they're naturally presented with. So, for example, in this fight, Taros can't move. So if I just stay back and heal him up, I'm sure I have characters that have healing herbs. Not Luke. Ah, there we go. Slade, right there. Perfect example of someone that can heal right now. Oh, he's not even in 5 yet, Vlad tells me. Vlad says that Blank has been announced for 5, but is not yet in the game. Jaha also has a medicinal herb that he will use on Ziggy. I love that they still use their attack poses to use a medicinal herb. Does Chester also have one? He's got a healing drop and mithril and a power water, but no medicinal herb. Anyway, that's good enough. We'll send Ziggy in. This time Sarah won't go with him. So far, the only character that got exhausted this fight was Vlad. And that's just because he's got, like, no hit points at all. And Taros' sword has huge radius on it. Wham! 11 damage. I probably have this. He could land, like, 2 ridiculous crits. Taros, attack. Wham! 13 damage. Everybody else will just watch with bemused awe. Ooh, 14 damage from the sword itself. Anyway, from what I understand, a lot of people's hate for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is because of its lineup, which it's kind of a tough spot that Marvel's in right now for that kind of thing. You know, like, it's movie franchises have been extremely successful, and it doesn't technically own, like, that franchise doesn't really own the X-Men, so it wants to downgrade or sort of devalue, I suppose. We just won, by the way, which is awesome. Ziggy, you're much stronger than I thought. Still finding that road voice, folks. But he is an old drunk. Oh, he loves this caravan, though. It's so small. I'll just try to get inside. That's what Brett Ratner said. Oh, he's gone. I hope he comes back. Did Road lie to us? Vlad the Bunny says, I wonder if they own them now, though, since Disney bought Fox. That would be an absolute affirmative. They would have gotten the movie rights and stuff. Did that deal go through? Yeah, it did. So yes, they now own the X-Men. All the work they've done in, like, establishing the Inhumans as their X-Men in their cinematic universe could ultimately come back and slap them in the face, really. Whatever. As long as they put Hank Hill and Arlen, Texas into Kingdom Hearts, that's all I care about. I never lie. The ancients were, how should I say this? Great. No wonder the caravan is so small. It carries miniaturized people and items. I can drive this excellent vehicle. May I go with you as a driver? Doesn't even ask me. Rode the historian. Tags along with the farce. You're kidding, right? Well, at least we can bring a lot of soldiers with us. But soldiers in the caravan cannot enter battle because they've been miniaturized. We'll just have to see. Huh, I don't like this guy. Damn right, Peter. I wonder what adventures we'll find with this caravan. Adler, blind, and also not saying very much. Meanwhile, what's in this chest? Ziggy opened the chest. Ziggy found healing water. That's 2 healing waters. Yeah, it's interesting with the acquisition of Fox and now having, like, the X-Men and even the Fantastic Four properties. Like, they could just insert the current X-Men cast, like the First Class group, directly into the Marvel Cinematic Universe without much trouble, you'd feel like. Oh, here we got a new character to join our ranks. Are you the boy who killed the legendary Kraken? I got to Hassan thanks to you. I didn't know this was such a dull town. Jump. What's that? It's the caravan, an ancient vehicle we found in the shrine. I love interesting things like that. Wow, you found it? I want to go with you to see some more interesting things. Rick the Knight has joined the force. That's all it takes. Vlad the Bunny says, I want to see Peter's new sprite. We're going to do it. We're going to go and take care of it right now. And you see that guy just hanging out by the door there? Adventure! Yo-ho! Let's go! Yo-ho! That's going to be Rick's tagline in my group for a little while. Actually, let's have a look at old Rick right now. Oh, Vlad the Torrent is down. 39, 29, 29, 7 versus 39, 24, 24, 7. So, in fact, oh, I guess Chester is a level behind Rick. But what I'm discovering is that potentially Chester is worse than Rick, a character that I've probably never used. In fact, picking Rick up number 12 in your group of characters kind of assures that he is one of the most likely candidates to get booted. What's up, boy? We guarantee all items to be in good condition. Oh, whatever. I'm not going to tease. We'll come back to him later. I'm not going to tease that they've got a new sprite for Peter and then not go get him immediately. Welcome. Your desire will be fulfilled. Gosh, Vlad is exhausted, but I can recall the soul. It'll cost 180 gold coins, okay? Why? Why does it cost that much? You're just casting a spell. Are there components? I want to know more about divine magic in the Shining Force universe. Anyway, Vlad is revived. Do you have another desire? Yes. Promo. Let me investigate all of y'all. So, I think only Peter gets the promo. Oh, so close, though, with Geralt. We're close with everybody, except for Kazan and Sarah, who are level 17. Anywho. Peter wants to be promoted to a fighting class, right? Peter can be promoted to Phoenix, okay? Now let me conduct the rite. Let the light bless. Peter Phoenix. I said that wrong, I'm sorry. Basically, he's evolving, but we don't get the animation right now to see. With the class of Phoenix, so he traded his K for a hard X, as they say. Peter was successfully promoted to a Phoenix. Be careful, the light is always on your side. There he is. He's looking much more birdie. He's got a sweet little corona of hair. And he looks more like a peacock now. An awkward teenage phoenix. Flat the Bunny says, hooked on phonics. Or phoenix. PHNX. You get it. Like the game says. What's up, boy? I love that guy's face. Okay, so I think all of these items are promoted character only. So, for example, I can get a broadsword for Slade or Jaha or Ziggy, but I cannot get one for Luke until he's promoted. Oh, shucks. I just want to see if the battle axe is a better purchase for Jaha, which it does not appear to be. Okay, so as of today, Jaha goes swords. It's even better on Ziggy than the Achilles sword, which is like a magic sword from years and years ago. Vlad the Bunny says, yeah, Peter's old picture's better, but at least he's more strong. Some might say too strong. Like, I wouldn't disagree with too strong. Gotta buy, like, so many broadswords right now. My poor wallet. And then one for Ziggy. Oh. His hands are too full, though. So are hers. His aren't. Now Now, you might ask, is it really worth selling such a rare bird or rare sword? But simply put, if I'm just going to be replacing it with a broadsword anyway, I don't really care. Inventory space is way too limited, even though you do get a lot of characters. And to that end, I should not be holding on to this thieves' dagger. Sorry y'all have to watch me go through this inventory stuff, but it's got to be done. That'll do for now. And then I also can buy some other weapons, I believe. Maybe not yet, though. No, not yet. That's all I need for now is swords. Oh, and we better give Ziggy his new sword before we forget. Because believe you me, that's a classic Son of Stapes move. Pass the broadsword to whom? The broadsword now belongs to Ziggy. Okay, so we're good to go. But go where, you might wonder? You've been everywhere you can go, Son of Stapes. What kind of madness are you speaking to us, we who view you? Oh my gosh! Everyone got miniaturized and now we can walk across certain parts of the river. Insanity peppers. What's in here? Ziggy investigated the area. Ziggy found the dry stone. Ziggy passed the dry stone to Jaha. We came from Grans to look for Mithril. One of us went to look for the fairy. I hope he's all right. Cold. Oh, I'm so cold. They should all be Scottish like Jaha, but whatever. Recent earthquakes have buried the tunnel. My friend is sick now, and we can't dig out the tunnel without him. So this is quite the conundrum these dwarves are under. And what happens if we go up here? I think this is just a way back to Grans, our original turf. Can't go that way. Oh, I am correct. That's Grans right there. Okay, so we'll just go and get right into the next combat. Flat the Bunny says, too bad they aren't underpants gnomes. It's true, but that is kind of the voice I went with. Oh, okay. So right here we come to the place where I can find two such of the promotion items. The ones I was talking about. So we might be fumbling around a little bit while I look to get them. But we are looking for two of them. If I have to consult a guide, you might have to see my title screen. It might happen. Ziggy investigated the area and nothing was there. I did it twice, just to be sure. Maybe this isn't the spot I think it is, but I think so. Elric is out. He went to find the fairy to help a sick dwarf. The forest to the west is very dangerous. Elric is, I believe, the next character I get. Somewhere in these trees there's treasure. Oh, what the? Ah. Okay. Ziggy opened the chest and found Mithril. Mithril is not what I was looking for, but it's still a pretty good score. Vale just stopped in to say hello. Hello, Vale. Thanks for coming to check it out. This is the other game I narrate. Ziggy investigated the area, found a fairy powder, passed it to Jaha. Always check every vase that doesn't belong to you.
Fairy? She has not returned from Creed's mansion.
They say a fairy lives around here. Do you know her?
No.
Welcome. Travelers often stop by here to rest. You may stay here as long as you like.
Maybe this isn't the elf place. I thought it was. That looks like a door I can go out, but it must be on the floor below.
To Creed Mansion? Only the fairy knows how to get there. Maybe Elric knows because he's a friend of the fairy.
Well, it sounds like we gotta go find Elric. Oh. Yeah. I've just noticed that Ziggy now has the bolt spell, which is pretty nice. Welcome. Vale says, there is an indie-made phone game named Dungeons of Chaos that feels like this genre of game. Interesting. Is it on Android or iOS? Because if it's on Android, I would check it out. Vale says, I played it through twice, lots of content, and was enjoyable. I'm always on the lookout for a good Shining Force clone. Your desire will be fulfilled. Mostly just tossing at a save, because, you know, why not? We'll continue our adventure. I've only done one fight so far, so I can't really just quit. Although, spoiler alert, my dinner tonight is going to be as many hot dogs as I can eat, and I'm looking forward to it. We already talked to this lady. The forest to the west is very dangerous, so we'll have to be careful. Now, is there any treasure over here? Oh. Open the chest, found a Vigor Ball. Pass the Vigor Ball to Kazan. I'm pretty sure the Vigor Ball is the item that we want for Sarah. So, let's pass this antidote to someone well down the list, like Rick. The antidote now belongs to Rick, and we'll also give her medicinal herb, or medical herb, to... he's already got one, but we'll give it to Vlad. Vale says Android. That's good news, because that's what I rock. And he then says, if anything, it's closer to the early 90s Ultima, but without the depth of morality. It's just quests, gear, and skills. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll definitely check it out. Dungeons of Chaos. Now, when you say early 90s Ultima, do you mean like Ultima Underworld? I think the other promotion item is in one of these houses. I could be wrong. Vale means I mean more graphically. Okay. So it's not like a super bright, happy anime-style world like I'm in currently. Which is okay by me. Vale says it's not quite up to this level of interface and graphics. It's got a touchscreen, which should probably make it like rocket science compared to anything we're seeing here. I have no idea how to get out of this place that I've walked into. Maybe I need the rocket science. Okay, I've already got that mithril. I also was reading about mithrils and how many you can actually find, and it's a very limited number. It also recommends that you scum for like the best items constantly, but I probably won't ever do that. We need to search every bookcase in this stinking bookcase town to find what I need. I think there's a whole bunch, or at least a couple up here. Investigated the area, found the secret book, passed it to Sarah. Maybe I don't have to search every bookcase. Vale says, oh, true that. Did you ever play NetHack, by the way? That's the assy roguelike? No, I've never played it, but I've read about it and it looks fun. It's just hard to go back to assy stuff, you know? I played ZZT back in the day. Like, I know it exists. I know it's a thing.
Ziggy, are you ready for battle?
And, like, from here I can actually change my party members and stuff, but I don't have to because... Oh, and I can store items in here, too. So I didn't have to sell the Achilles sword. Oh, well. Deposit, derive. We're going to store some stuff in here to save us some inventory woes. Like the silver tank that we can't use yet. Running pimento, actually, we should be using on someone soon. But I'm not sure who. So we'll just store it for now. All the mithrils can get stored. Vale says, yes, assy roguelike. I played it for almost 10 years trying to beat it and never did. Oh, that sounds rough and awesome all at the same time. I love a good roguelike. I honestly do. I've been having so much fun with Binding of Isaac lately. And what's neat about it is that I've beaten the current end boss that I have access to something like 8 times, and if I beat her 2 more times, I get like a whole bunch of more content I get to go and throw myself at. It's great. It's the game that keeps on giving. I don't know what a lot of this crap does, like fairy powder and stuff. I'm going to have to look into it at some point. That Vigor Ball is going directly to Sarah. Stupid chirrup sandals can sit in the depot. Vale says, so fun. Yeah, it's one of the most highly regarded roguelikes of all times, NetHack, if I'm not mistaken. It, and there was another one, another assy one that I want to say started with, like, they all exist still on, like, Android and stuff. I mean, again, I wouldn't necessarily want to play these games ideally with a touchscreen. Like, it's probably better to use a keyboard, but it's neat to know they're there. Speaking of things that you can go and play on your mobile device if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it. Star Control 2 has a port on Android and is probably my favorite game of all time. It's easy enough to do like the story parts of the game with your phone, but doing the combat, really rough. Vale says, NetHack and Rogue were basically forks of the same game. Rogue was where roguelike comes from. Yeah. But there was another one that starts with like an A, I mean. It's something like a 6-letter name or something like that. Right, I gotta give the right items out. So this is unexpected. I was not thinking that I found all of these items before I would have the option to upgrade them. Chester's item comes much later in the game. Not much later, but certainly quite a ways ahead of now. So if I want to make Chester my Pegasus Knight, for example, he's going to be pretty weak for quite a while, which doesn't make it so appealing. So I think what we're going to do vis-a-vis Chester is we're just going to see... What did I just do with the secret book? Or the Vigor Ball. We're just going to see who takes the reins naturally as sort of boss centaur between him and Rick. Okay. Vale says, Moira, Angband are the other two in that era. Yeah, Angband is what I'm talking about for sure. For sure. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And Moria is also a name that I've heard as well. Okay, so we're in combat. Let's have a look at the map. Pretty big map. I think we can all agree. But what do we got? A lot of new enemies over there. Soul Sowers, arrow launchers, we've seen them before. This is a Dark Madam, which I'm certainly more interested to hear more about. Dark Madam. An orc with armor that unfortunately makes him look more like my kind of Dark Madam. A high priest, who I assume will be their new healing type unit. Gargoyles we've seen before. Okay, so really it's the new healer, the new orc, and the new wizard type. Soul Sowers are disturbingly common now, so that's kind of too bad. This battle should be mostly about getting our non-promoted characters to promotion level. In the case of someone like Sarah, who I now have the promotion item for, I need to get her really beefed up quick, because I don't want her to fall behind. Bale says, Ancient Domains of Mystery is the one I heard about and wanted to try and haven't. It's apparently still dev supported. Isn't it interesting how games still have developers? Games from like the old days. Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines, for example, still has a very, very, very dedicated mod community who are still active to this day. And even though the game is really kind of finite in some ways, they've still managed to dig up all this amazing content and made it good, better. Vlad the Bunny says, Yay, I got Cell. Bye, Nappa. It's getting better all the time, buddy. Okay, so everybody's closing in on me, but for once, they're the ones screwed by terrain, not me. Look at that majestic phoenix flying. Alright, so I'm going to say right now, if my character is promoted, I don't want them getting kills. Sarah is level 17 and needs a bunch of stuff to get promoted. Oh, I did not know there was a gargoyle up there. Clever girl. Vlad needs 2 levels. Geralt needs a level still. Vale says, Diablo 2, Morrowind, so many A games, still viable and fun too. Baldur's Gate, Planescape, Torment are my favorites. You know, I've not played really any of the mods for any of the Baldur's Gate stuff. I kind of messed around with some for Baldur's Gate 2 in like the early 2000s. But nothing really that serious. Just a couple to add characters to the game that were well written. That weren't really well written. Soul Sower got damaged by 13. Ziggy gained 4 experience points. It's incredible that Diablo 2 still has people playing it. Like, that really is a testament to how good of a game that is. And people do absolutely still play Diablo 2. The game I was thinking about, actually, which I was going to mention was, there are MUDs, if you know what those are, multi-user dungeons, that have existed for something ridiculous like 30 years that are still getting maintained and worked on by their devs. Vale says, I played 4 class mods for BG2. I love the Sylvan Knight, I think it was the name. Dwarf one. I never even knew that they offered class mods, but of course they would. Oh, Vale knows mods. Hardly surprising. Uh-oh, Soul Sower just beat Kazan up for 22 damage. Vlad the Bunny says, World of Warcraft has been around for a long-ass time, too, now. Absolutely true. Did it start in 2004 or 2005? Oh, Kazan just got double so-sowered? Yeah. Those big frog bastards. It's going to be costly to bring them back. Wump. 6 damage to Soul Sower. Chester leveled up to 19. HP up by 2. Attack up by 1. Defense up by 1. Agility up by 1. Bale says, I played Ultima Online on release. I left that to play City of Heroes. When COH shut down, I stopped MMOs. Unfortunately, Vale, you did not play the right one. Well, Ultima Online was actually supposed to be pretty good back in its day, but I have to be honest with you. I played about 3 or 4 MMOs myself in my day, and even though I don't laud it as, like, the best game ever, WoW definitely was the most playable MMORPG of the lot. Oh, Vale says, City of Heroes is the best game I ever played. Interesting. All right, well, I guess that shuts me up immediately. I want to blast that Soul Sower. I just don't want to get that close to the Soul Sower. I played Final Fantasy XI for a few months, and then I stopped playing that, and a few months later picked up WoW for the first time. I played that for a couple months, got bored, and then stopped. I think a few months later, some friends of mine talked me back into coming back. It was right before... it wasn't a few months later. It was probably closer to a year. They talked me back into joining them, and I started a new character. It was just a month or two before the first expansion dropped. And then I got them up to 60, and then the new expansion dropped, and then I basically played it all the way through Cataclysm, which was some absurd number of years later, like 4 or 5. Vlad the Bunny says, I wish I had some people to play Final Fantasy XIV with. I would renew my subscription if I did. I never played 14. I was actually looking. Vlad moves into attack. Soul Sower. I got kind of nostalgic for Final Fantasy XI and wanted to reinstall it, and I looked it up. He just gained 50 experience and leveled up to 19. Attack up by 1, defense up by 2, agility up by 1. I looked into it thinking, you know, Final Fantasy XI has been around for over 13 years now. Like, it surely must be free. And I looked it up, and no, it's, in fact, still the same price as it ever was to do stuff. This is Peter's new sprite, by the way. He just double attacked a Soul Sower and killed it in one fight. Amazing. 40 experience points, 300 gold coins. Peter is an awesome little beast in this game. Like, I just can't sugarcoat it enough. Vale says, City of Heroes scratched an itch I never knew I had. I ended up making 40 max level skill, gear, specialist, hero, and villain characters, all with backstories, unique playstyle, crazy well made, and fun game. MMOs allow you to sort of go and find that certain special itch and scratch it. I spent way too much time in WoW. Back when it was really hard to do so, leveling up characters. To no end, because I never played endgame. Ever. So, when I think the peak of my leveling people up was in Wrath of the Lich King, which is the second expansion. The one that lets you go to Northrend and fight the Lich King, unsurprisingly. Right before Cataclysm came out, which was the next expansion and the one I stopped for, I had 5 classes with a max level character on one server. None of them strong, but there was potential for a lot. Arrow Launcher got damaged by 16. Geralt gained 23 experience points. Cannot forget that I want to promote Geralt. That's a thing that needs to happen. There are a lot of enemies, though. Uh-oh. Luke's about to get magicked. Cast Freeze level 2. That's only 10 damage. That's not so bad. I later played Star Wars The Old Republic, and not like at release or anything. It was after it went free to play. And I liked it enough to subscribe for a couple months. But at that point, nobody else was playing it, right? So, much like Vlad was talking about wishing that he had friends playing Final Fantasy XIV with him, I could see that there was potential in Star Wars The Old Republic, but with no one else playing it, who cares? That's the sad truth of MMORPGs. Well, Luke's about to bite it here. This arrow launcher is for sure going to settle his hash. Yep. 16 damage. Luke is exhausted. Poor Luke. Ranger May getting attacked by this friggin' gargoyle. Shooting it with an arrow. 28 experience points. Levels up to 19 herself. That's great news. But arrow launcher moves in to shoot her in the face. She gets damaged by 8. Vale says, in City of Heroes, you could fly, super jump across cities, super speed run 100 miles per hour, and all were useful when fighting. One tiny example. I had heard that about City of Heroes, actually. There were a lot of ways to travel the areas pretty quick. Vlad the Bunny says, arrowed! City of Heroes was absolutely fine, from what I understood. I never had any beef with any of the other MMORPGs that I wasn't playing. I just wasn't playing them. Vlad's attack. 14 damage. 44 experience points, but no level up. He's on the cusp, though. Rick will attack this arrow launcher. Vale says, don't get me wrong, not saying it's the best, but just loved by me. I absolutely agree with you. You know, like that's... I played WoW at a pretty special time for WoW. It will never be like this again. That's why I liked it enough to keep playing it for so long. In those vanilla days, especially if you were playing on a PvP server, you really got into like some pretty cool scraps with just other people playing the game and doing their thing. It wasn't like you were obviously picking a fight with somebody that had like a max level character somewhere else that they were just keeping in their back pocket for if you annoyed them. Vlad the Bunny says, messaged. Ow, my stomach lining. I miss Homestar Runner. Me too. Me too, buddy. Vale says, dinner soon here. Catch you next time. Enjoy as many hot dogs as you can eat. Truth of the matter is, Vale, it's only up to 12, and I might be able to do more than 12. Geralt moving in against us new enemy, because he doesn't want to get froze. Punch. Only 11 damage to the Dark Madam, but he levels up to 20. He is now promotion viable. Thanks for dropping by, Vale. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Come back and see us sometime. Still haven't seen what these new orc characters are capable of. Ziggy attacks. Critical hit. Damage by 19. Dark Madam defeated. Ziggy levels up to 3, but you'll notice he didn't get 49 experience or what have you for doing it. Vlad the Bunny says, Geralt to get even more badass. Nice. He is going to get more badass, and not the least of which is he's not going to look like Dr. Teeth anymore, but rather a more proper wolfman. Now we need to get other characters promoted, especially Vlad, but especially Sarah. So all these arrow cannons, oh man, they're just shooting at me a lot. Well, see, I'd like to take one of them out with... no, she can't do it. She can't kill that arrow launcher off with blast. So, she will heal like that. Earned 13 experience, leveled up to 18. That's pretty good. She gains 1s across the board, which isn't, like, great, but... I suppose I'll take it. So we need to make a decision about Rick and Chester. And essentially I think what it's going to come down to is whoever has more attack at level 20 gets the promotion to Pegasus Knight, whereas the other one will get to go to Paladin, which is the typical thing that class gets promoted to. and arguably not as good. Vlad got a kill there on an arrow launcher, does 12 damage, defeats it, gains 48 experience, levels up to 20. He will also get promoted. That is great. Just great, I says. Peter conservatively moving up. Takes a shot at this arrow launcher here. May takes it out. 13 damage. Defeats it. Earns 49 experience points, but does not level up. Still plenty of enemies to take out here, but this gargoyle's going to come up and take a swing at Jaha. Jaha, who has yet to use his badass new sword, takes it on the chin. I didn't see how much, but it's not enough to stop him. Ziggy moves confidently ahead and beats on the Soul Sower with his sword, dealing 15 damage. Soul Sowers are clearly meant to be fought more after you've gotten promoted. That big clump of guys is just sort of spinning its wheels. Who knows what that orc down there is up to? Jeez. We're actually going to send Chester against this gargoyle, I think. He'll do a little bit more damage this way. Got damaged by 15. Chester earned 15 experience points. Slade is going to backstab this Soul Sower. Wham. 16 damage. Soul Sower was defeated. Slade earns 31 experience points. Found 300 gold coins. Jaha taking a swing at the gargoyle in turn. 24 damage. Defeated the gargoyle. Almost enough to one-shot a gargoyle there. Good old Jaha. We're not going to move Sarah very quickly, so we're going to keep May kind of in range of her so she can keep getting experience through heals. But ultimately what Sarah needs to do is get kills in this fight. Like 4 of them. Especially now that I don't have to worry about Vlad or Gehalt getting kills. That should be more doable, but I have to get her to the front line fast. Or at least hold up the front line until she gets there. It would also help if she had MP left to cast Blast, since that is consistent damage, whereas her current abilities will not let her do too much damage physically. So we're going to just hang on right here and regroup. Maybe this orc to the south will do something. They're very slowly moving over. The AI likes to wait until it can actually do anything, and then it'll just zoom over. See, like that orc is going to take its time getting up here. Like, they're equal level now. Chester has 40 attack. Rick has 39. Rick has 35 hit points. Chester has 39 hit points. Rick has better defense and agility, though, by significant amounts. I don't know what that means, really. I guess he gets hurt less. Agility means he moves quicker. Hard to say. Peter's going to go on a softening up mission on this first orc, see how tough it is. It's got red eyes. It only took 7 damage. That's, it's going to be a bit of work to take out that orc. High Priest doesn't even bother healing, just walks over, smacks Peter on the nose for 11 damage. Geralt cannot reach to assist, nor can the centaurs. We're going to get snared up in this forest a bit, I think. Slade can make it. Slade will attack the High Priest for 22 damage. Good job, Slade. Earned 22 experience points. Vlad the Bunny asks, how much is left in this game? Hard to say. I want to say I'm through about 1/3 of the battles. Maybe more. I don't think I'm halfway through. I would say Creed's Mansion might be the halfway point. Like, I'm just promoting characters now. And if you think about it, they can max out at 40 unpromoted. And then you'd have to seriously grind them up to like 40 after promotion. So, well, no, by that logic, I'm only 1/8 of the way through the game, which is definitely not true. But we're making progress. You go back to Grans Island eventually, and that's where the game ends. But we'd only just got to Paramecia, really. We have to go to Creed's Island, and then I think our next task is getting off Grans Island, which takes quite a while. And then once you're on Grans Island, you have to beat the game, basically. So yeah, I would say we're over 1/3 into the game. Oh no, he's got heal level 3, which is why he gets 2 sexy devil fairies to heal him. Peter's going to pull out of that fight entirely. Geralt's going to go punch this priest, though. Bonk. 11 damage. 14 experience points for Geralt. Send Ziggy at this orc. Bang. Only 10 damage. Earns 3 experience points. The orc will attack Ziggy, because of course it will. It deals 10 damage back. Ziggy gets a counterattack for 6. Somebody in the duplex of houses that I live in has made some sort of delicious meal that I can smell right now. And I'm quite jealous. Slade does 13 damage to the High Priest and gains 13 experience points. That sounds like an easy... Oh, no. He's going to just heal himself. 21 hit points. He only cast heal 1, though. But why did he only cast heal 1? Oh. Basically, if they can reach Ziggy, they'll go after him right now. So he just got damaged by 6 by that lowly little gargoyle. Coming to get him. Now, again, Vlad doesn't really need the experience. Oh! AoE Blast. Blast level 2. So that's only going to be about 6 damage to these characters. And it's not enough to take out anybody. Geralt, like Vlad, doesn't really need the experience. But it's fun punching priests, so we'll do it. He does 11 damage. Gains 14 experience. We'll send Rick in for the kill, hopefully. Oh, 6. Not a kill at all. Ziggy gets that kill on the orc. 14 damage, critical hit, 14 experience. Orc moves up. Chester engages the High Priest in the woods. Wump. 7 damage. Yeah, Chester and Rick, until they're promoted, are going to do pretty crappy damage because what they do is weapon-based. You could make arguments that characters like... oh, wow, he does so much damage now. Characters like Vlad or Geralt and even Peter could be okay if you didn't upgrade them immediately, because they will naturally gain the attack to make up for not having a weapon. But characters like Chester and Rick are kind of screwed if you want them to get that special promo item. It is the only special promo item we don't currently possess, though. We have the silver tank ready to go for when one of our soon-to-be-acquired archer characters gets promoted, which I think is right away. And we have the secret book for Kazan, or the character we pick up from Creed's, more likely. Kazan will just get the standard promotion. We are going to attack this High Priest with Vlad, just because we don't want him healing. Fed. Vlad gains 49 experience points, which he's going to just lose. Gosh darn it, she cannot reach the target. So she'll heal Peter. We need her to get kills, though. That needs to happen. And she's too slow when she's walking in the forest. The gargoyle attacks Ziggy again for 6 damage. I keep forgetting about that orc. He's so slow. Okay, this guy's attacking Jaha. Oh, a heavy attack. 12 damage. Terrible. Just terrible. I'm all dressed up with nowhere to go as far as Ziggy goes. Let's see if this kills this High Priest. Nope. Damage by 13. Ziggy gains 4 experience points. Geralt is not a character I want to get kills. Rick is, but he's too slow. Chester is also a character I want to get kills, so we're going to give him the Evil Priest. Sorry, High Priest. Ooh, and he dropped a Shining Ball. A Shining Ball, I believe, casts fire damage on enemies. Kind of a neat item. Slade moves in to attack the Soul Sower that's bringing up the rear back here. Critical hit. 23 damage. Levels up to 2. HP up by 2. MP up by 2. Attack up by 1. Defense up by 2. And agility up also a pleasing amount. Now, once again, we have the problem of Sarah can only reach targets that she can't kill, which is unfortunate. May's going to take a shot at this here orc. Thwack. Only 5 damage. May earned 8 experience points. Soul Sower attacks Slade, dealing 12 damage, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good little chunk of damage. Jaha the Baron is really hurt, so we're going to pull him back. That gargoyle is almost dead, so we're going to try and leave him for Sarah, which is what we've been trying to do this whole time. He's going to hit Ziggy, though, for 6 damage, probably. Oh, wouldn't you know? 6 damage. Rick the Knight will go in for the kill. No, we're going to leave that one for Sarah, since it's kind of assured. The orc moves back and kills Slade? No, only 12 damage. Slade can outrun those chumps. This orc, finally freed from its woodland prison, scurries forward to try and help its fellows. Geralt hangs out in the woods. Slade runs up to join him. Together they will frolic, and oh, what a time they'll have. Chester moves to the south to try to intercept this orc that's coming after us. We're all kind of pulling back. Literally toying with the enemy. Blast level 1 only costs 2 magic points. Bam, 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 bam. Sarah earned 48 experience points, but didn't level up. Gosh darn it. Okay, well, we gotta feed her more kills, is what that means. These two are just gonna chill out up here. Orc moves up to hit May in the face. Oh, wow. 18 damage. Chester beans the orc for only 2 damage. Oh, that's embarrassing. You guys remember when Chester was like one of the toughest guys in our crew? And like nobody effed with him because he was Chester? Not anymore. 2 damage. Oh, that's disturbingly low. None of these characters need... Well, I guess May could use a bit. The orc needs to be softened up a bit for Sarah to kill it, so we might as well just start shooting it. She does 6 damage. She does more damage than Chester. Sad. Peter will fly in to do a little tornado move. 8 damage. Rick tries to get out of the woods unsuccessfully. Sensing that the orc and Solso are probably going to come after them, I'm going to move those characters back a bit. The orc has been damaged by 11, so now it's primed and ready for Sarah to take it out. Chester's not going to do it. Uh-oh. The orc moves up to attack Sarah and takes her down by 16. Well, at least this puts it directly in my path for death. She's going to kill it with Blast 1. It's one way to do it. Orc was defeated. She earns 49 experience and levels up to 19, which is great. Learns the new magic spell, Slow. I don't know if I've ever used Slow in Shining Force. No time like the present. So May is also a character that needs to be promoted still. Basically all the centaurs and Sarah need to be promoted. And Kazan, but he's dead right now. So that's just not going to happen anytime soon. And would you guys believe this is only our second fight, so we've still got 2 more fights in store for y'all tonight? I'm really having a lot of fun replaying this game, so it's actually quite a joy to play it as often as I have gotten to this week. But if you're a Son of Stapes fan, you'll know that after tonight, I will probably not have any new live content until at least Sunday night, because the nights I work are Fridays and Saturdays, for sure. It's sad, but I'm sure I'll be back with fresh stuff for you guys in the new week. Because of the current slowdown in my workplace, it's been nice that I can usually stream something every day I don't work. Once my shifts start picking up again, that'll probably slow down some. Oh, Slade and Geralt running around in the forest together like it ain't no thing. Oh, I didn't realize that Solsour only has 4 hit points. We're going to send Sarah in to deal with that for sure. There are only the 2 enemies left, so this fight is pretty much wrapped up. Although if I'm not mistaken, this is an area that you can run into that same fight countless times if you're not careful. So I'm not sure if we should go back and attempt to revive Kazan and Luke. Well, we kind of have to, I guess. At least try. And promote all these characters that have now earned a promotion. Okay. Chester, Rick, and Sarah and May are going to be the ones who move forward here. Rick is doing exactly what I needed him to. Tanking a hit from a Soul Sower. Chester's going to run past and make a mighty meaty opportunity for that orc. Slade and Geralt will stay in the woods cuddling. Use medicinal herb on Sarah because we don't want her getting the ugly axe. Whoop, 10 hit points back. Vlad earned 1 experience point himself. Ooh, May can't quite reach the orc that I need her to start sniping, so she's going to stay back and get the second medicinal herb out of Vlad. Meanwhile, Sarah will blast the Soul Sower. Zap, 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 zap. 6 damage. Soul Sower was defeated. She earns 48 experience points and gains 300 golds. Jaha, too hurt to continue. Stand back. Now I'm worried that she'll just be shy. Oh, she's probably going to die right here, actually. Oh, no. She's down to 2 hit points. 2 hit points. Orc attack. Oh, 2 damage, Chester. Come on, man. We're going to send in Jaha. Try and help with the softening up process. 8 damage. Sarah's going to pull back. She doesn't have anything to heal herself with. May also goes in to take a shot at this here orc. Whump. 5 damage. I could finish this right now with Phoenix here. Peter the Phoenix. But instead, I'm just going to use him to block. Because otherwise, she would have run in and killed Sarah there for sure. Jaha got damaged by 8. Jaha is defeated. It's kind of too bad because Jaha is going to be expensive to revive, but what can you do? Okay, well, when I was talking about it being embarrassing that Chester only did 1 damage, Rick only does 1. Critical hit for 2 damage. Good job, Chester. Sarah will use a medicinal herb on herself with the hopes that it'll give her some experience so that if she does kill that orc, it gives it to her. And by it, I mean a level. Because I think she'll be just shy if it doesn't. Recover 10 hit points, earn 9 experience. That should do it. Okay, so as long as she kills this orc, May will take a shot as well, dealing 5 damage. 8 experience points. May will not be leveling up this time. Peter remains once again to tank the hits. Peter gets taken down to 4. Ziggy stays. Geralt and Slade will dangerously return to the battleground. Everybody else is running away. Wants to give Sarah plenty of room to get her promo level. The cockiness can be felt by all. No, not heal, Sarah. And she casts Blast. Zippity zap. Orc was defeated. Sarah earns 49 experience points and levels up to 20, which is exactly what we wanted. HP and MP up by 1, attack up by 1, defense up by 1, agility up by 1. And we win. We won the battle. So now we get to go promote a bunch of our characters. Which is exciting stuff, I won't lie. We're going to go back all the way to this town because this is where the new items are required and we're going to need some. There's no weapon salesman in that little village where I picked up all that cool stuff. And we need new weapons. Big time.
Welcome, your desire will be fulfilled.
Vlad the Bunny says, promotion time! You must be excited to see little Vlad get promoted. His face does get a promotion, but it's like the minorest of changes. Jaha gets revived, Kazan gets revived, and Luke should get revived, and that's it. Luke also needs to be promoted as well. Yeah. Okay, promotion time. Let me investigate all of you. Who do you want to promote? Well, first I want to promote Sarah.
Sarah wants to be promoted to a fighting class, right? Sarah can be promoted to Mimink with Vigor Ball. Okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Now, let me conduct the rite. The light blesses Proust Sarah with a class of Mimink.
Sarah will not get a new portrait, but will get a very different kind of character. She keeps all her spells, though, and that's the most important thing.
Sarah was successfully promoted to Mimink. Who do you want to promote?
Not Chester, not Kazan, but I will promote Vlad.
Vlad wants to be promoted to the fighting class, right? Vlad can be promoted to Minst, okay? Now, let me conduct the rite. The light blesses Tort Vlad with a class of Minst.
What we're missing is a sweet sting of music.
Vlad was successfully promoted to Minst.
Does Minst mean minister? Probably not. So there you go. No more helmet, but he has a sweet horn combo, both on the nose and on his head. If you're familiar with the classic monster movie Gamera, he's a lot like that now. Or Gamera. May doesn't get to level up. Only Geralt.
Geralt wants to be promoted to the fighting class, right? Geralt can be promoted to Wolfber, okay? Let me conduct the rite. The light blesses Wolfman Geralt with a class of Wolfber. Wolfber!
That's his new battle cry. Vlad the Bunny says Vlad is horny. Coffee cheers to you, Vlad. Coffee cheers to you.
Geralt was successfully promoted to a Wolfber. Who do you want to promote?
Oh, he's a werewolf now, dog. Full wolf man.
Oh, I'm wrong.
Actually, the only character that needs a weapon is Sarah. So, let's do that.
What's up, boy? We guarantee all items to be in good condition.
We'll buy her a leather glove. No glove, no love, am I right? Look at that. 22 up to 48. That makes her almost as heavy as a hitter as like Bowie and those folks now. Just slightly less. We'll actually sell her stick. Her power stick. All right. So back off we go. We might actually make it to Creeds. I think we have one battle outside of Creeds That is, of course, depending on if I get into the same stupid random battle here, which could, it has a habit of happening. But I think if I walk up here, I'm fine. Now, one thing I am going to do to poor Vlad is unequip his power ring now. Because while I'm not against the idea of him having it, I want to see what he can do without it. Okay. What's this little place?
Wait.
What's wrong, Adler?
Ziggy, Peter, can you hear that?
Hear what? I don't hear anything.
Somebody's crying for help from over here.
Oh, in we go. What's going on here?
It's coming from this direction.
Look, over there. Oh my gosh. It's a pointy-hatted dude in the spring. What do we give this guy's voice? This guy. He's got a portrait, so you know he's joining the farce. We'll make him Mario, because that's fun, right? You guys like Italian stereotypes. Help me! He may not be on our team long. An elven boy? He's stuck in the pond. He must be very tired. Let's pull him out. All right. Let's just go pull him out then.
Did you come to help me? Oh, thank you. I might have been eaten by monsters if you hadn't come.
My dinner is escaping.
Who said that?
That pond catches my food. Hey, elf boy, good trap, huh? Those who get stuck in the pond are mine. It's my rule.
Then all the missing people were eaten by you?
They were in my pond. And this elf is my dinner for tonight. Got it? Did you guys bring the ketchup? No? Oh, well.
Sweet ketchup joke. Well done. Well done. Okay, let's have a look at our battlefield here. We got a spinning elf trapped in a pond. And then it looks like a pretty straightforward fight, actually. Not that many enemies. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 baddies. Oh, I got a harpy back there. 2 harpies. So that's 12. Okay, so we're starting flanked, which isn't ideal. But let's have a look at these new character models. Ooh, Vlad. Check that out. Look at that big turtle walking. 27 kills, 8 defeats. I forgot that it counted those kinds of statistics. Geralt gets a new model as well. And then there's also Sarah, who is now a badass monk. So, how do we want to do this? Like the last fight, this fight should be mostly about getting our characters promoted. Specifically, whoever is getting promoted to Paladin, be it Rick or Chester, we need them to do that, so they're not useless. Kazan also needs to be fed a few kills as well. But I've decided that we're not going to make him the special character we promote with the secret book. I've decided this. Uh-oh. Remember when I talked about leveling up Kazan? Well, he's poisoned. And also down to almost no hit points. Oh. Birdman Luke attacks this harpy. He deals a staggering 1 damage. Oh, but he levels up to 19. HP up by 1, attack up by 1, defense up by 1, agility up by 1. Guess who needs a promotion? Chester moves up to watch favorably. Sarah, a real hottie now with stockings and everything, jumps up with a mighty kick to heal Vlad. She earns 18 experience points. Sorry, that's not Vlad, that's Kazan. Excuse me. Jaha attacks for 11 damage. The harpy is down to 20. Now, one of the neatest things about Vlad's promotion is that he now flies. So, gone are the days of him getting stuck in, like, the forest or a desert or something. This cat can fly now. And meow, is he ready to take some bees out? Kazukixi asks, so, are those multiple human enemies here for a share of the elf dinner too? You mean like the the priest and the witch? Well, the witch, obviously witches are no strangers to eating people, if we remember our Hansel and Gretel and whatnot. Really, the only odd ones out here are the evil priests. And you know what? I'm going to guess that it's just a matter of protection and that he's not specifically against cannibalism, per se. He doesn't practice it. He just isn't against it. He condones it. It's my guess. Also, welcome to the stream, Kazakwixi. If that is your real name. Speaking of high priests, we're going to have Peter go and harass this guy. 12 damage, bringing him down to 18. New Geralt pose. He likes to hug with sharp claws now. He does 15 damage, bringing the Dark Madam down to 14. She moves up and then casts a multi-target freeze spell, severely damaging many of my characters. Kazan got damaged by 10. Sarah got damaged by 10. Slade got damaged by 12. Rick got damaged by 10. What a world. What a world. Harpy immediately goes after Ziggy because he's the tastiest of all baits. She deals 17 damage and poisons him, which is not what you want. But don't worry, everybody. Luke's here to do 1 damage to this harpy. Bang. Oh, he did 2. My mistake. Going to be a lot of that going around this turn, I feel like. Rick deals 7 damage to the Dark Madam and gets a second attack in. Dark Madam was defeated. Rick earns 49 experience points, but does not level up. An orc moves up to bash on poor Peter. Oh, but he quickly dodged the attack. Great job, Peter. Top-notch Phoenix. Best Phoenix, NA. This harpy is yet to engage us, which is kind of questionable. I'm worried about it. This enemy, I guess, also is going to eat something. Kazekwi. Kazweki? I don't know how to pronounce your name. It's a pretty baller name, though. It's almost like QWERTY. Ziggy will take a swing at the harpy. Critical hit. Damaged by 15. Vlad the Bunny says, Queen of the Harpies. Here's your crown, your majesty. We're going to douse this Queen of the Harpies with some fire. She got damaged by 11, which is pretty good. Kazan got 17 experience points. Gets damaged by 2 because of the poison. That harpy's just going to sit tight. The harpy goes all the way around to kill Kaz. I hate it, but I simultaneously love it. Well, Kazin's beginning to look like somebody who's not going to be on the force too long if he keeps this up. Sarah is going to detox Ziggy. Try to get an attack in here with Vlad for you to see Vlad. Depends on when his turn is, of course. Chester attacks the Harpy and deals 2 damage. Gains 3 experience points. I would like to send Slade against those guys, but he can't reach them. Jaha will attack this Harpy here. Oh. She dodges, but that's probably for the best because she only has 5 hit points left, and I'd rather feed her kill to someone else. Here comes Vlad with the attack on the Harpy. Vlad's attack. Wabam! Only done 1 damage. Oh. Well, I guess he's putting that power ring back on. High Priest casts heal level 1. Ranger May gets to attack. She's going to hopefully kill this Harpy with her bow. And she does. 7 damage. Harpy was defeated. May earns 49 experience points and levels up to 20. She is ready to be pro mode. Poof. Peter the Phoenix will continue to harass this High Priest. Doing 18 damage. High Priest is damaged. Not 18, sorry, 12. It's very different. Luke the Birdman attacks the Harpy, dealing 2 damage. He earns 3 experience points. We're going to use Bolt for fun. Ziggy casts Bolt, level 1. Zap. Oh, wow, 14 damage. I wasn't expecting that. That's great. Rick moves in against the High Priest, who quickly dodged the attack. It looks like he threw up a friggin' force field, but whatever. Geralt moves in to continue the attack. Brings the High Priest down to 4 hit points. A juicy 4 hit points. So, is this Harpy going to come after me, or what's the deal here? Orc attacks Geralt and deals 14 damage, a heavy attack. Not enough to really worry me on his own, but it could get worse. Slade still cannot maneuver around to get an attack in on these characters. Oh. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Geralt's going to take an arrow here. 4 damage is dealt. That's not much. Well. Vlad moves in to attack this High Priest. He does at least 4 damage. 5, in fact. High Priest was defeated. Vlad earned 35 experience only. Womp womp. I don't think she needs to heal any of those characters. We'll have her heal Ziggy for 15. I love her healing kicks. 18 hit points. Excuse me. I guess she got better as a healer or something. On account of those sweet, sweet kicks. All right. Phoenix. Attack. Tornadoed. Critical hit for 12 damage. Peter earns 12 experience points. The Harpy, finally having someone to attack, swoops in. Hits May for 21 damage. It hurts a lot. The other Harpy moves in to attack Geralt, perhaps killing him, and in fact killing him. 13 damage. Geralt is exhausted. The other harpy, no targets. Dark Madam attacks Peter the Phoenix, who also dodges her attack. Peter is a master of dodgery. Daring dodging do. We move in Luke to attack the harpy. He will get 2 damage on her. He will gain 3 experience points. It is not much. It is not much at all. Rick moves in to attack the orc. Dealing 1 damage. He earns 1 experience point. Bowie casts Bolt on the arrow launcher and the orc at the same time. Now, I gotta be careful here, because that Dark Madam has magic too. And might really F up my ass. As the kids say. Oh, the harpy dodges Chester's attack. Chester gains only 1 experience point. May moves back and takes a shot at the harpy herself. Not because she needs experience, but because she needs to do something. Orc takes a shot at Vlad, dealing 3 damage, a heavy attack. Vlad will retaliate. Vlad's attack. He does 1 damage. He earns 1 experience point. Sarah moves down. Jaha moves in to hit the harpy. He's going to do the bulk of the damage against this one. He deals 10. Finally, Slade gets to move in and will attack the Dark Madam to try and bring her down before she can cast any spells. He deals 15 damage. He is then attacked by a High Priest and gets hurt for 12. He counterattacks for 9. Slade Craven. But he's about to get polished off by a arrow launcher, which deals 7 damage. Slade is exhausted and can no longer continue the battle. Peter the Phoenix moving in to attack the Dark Madam. Hopefully he can finish her off. And he does. 14 did just enough damage. He earns 43 experience points and levels up to 2. HP up by 2, attack up by 2, defense up by 2, agility up by 1. A great level up. Peter very quickly becoming MVP. Not only because of his high defense and attack, but also because of his mobility. And that's pretty cool. Rick the Knight will try to hit this orc for some damage, and only deals 1. Gosh darn it. We'll fly Luke in to try and get that kill, since somebody needs it. And he does it. 2 damage to the orc. Orc was defeated. Luke gains 49 experience points, but does not level up. Vlad the Bunny says, "Rip Slade Craven." Another orc runs in to smack Vlad in the face, dealing 2 damage. Harpy moving around to take an attack on Sarah, dealing 22 damage. Ouch. She is exhausted. Guess she needs a few levels to start getting that hefty defense. Oh, Ranger May is also killed. These harpies are, well, I don't want to say bad hombres, but they are. Bowie swings and hits for 15 damage, a critical hit. Chester attacks for 2 damage. Harpy still standing, still flapping those wings. Peter the Phoenix will attack the High Priest, bringing him down to 3 hit points. Killable by other characters, but now he'll heal himself for 30 points. Well, 27 points, but heal himself to full. Now, Vlad the Monster doesn't have a lot of hit points left. So I feel like the smart thing to do is to move him out of the way of harm. But on the other hand, it's tempting to try and get a kill with him. So he'll move in to attack this Harpy, and he belches out Flames, which is his secret amazing attack. He deals 42 damage. Harpy was defeated. That's why you keep Vlad in your party. He gains 50 experience, but does not level up. So I have no control over that, but let's just say he often does it to execute units. It seems like. I sure would love it if he did it more often, though. Now we can move this group of guys down. Sadly, not a lot of them made it. But they didn't all have to. Luke does 9 damage. That High Priest has to level somebody up. It's imperative. Oh, look at that. Ziggy gets 2 attacks before the Harpy gets any. Isn't that a nice change of pace? Rick moves in to attack the arrow launcher, and it defends. Dodging his attack quickly. God damn it, Rick. Orc moves in to attack Ziggy. Oh, 13 damage. Not enough. The Harpy goes in to attack Vlad. She deals 7 damage. Vlad is exhausted. Well, at least we got to see him belch flames before he got taken out. Chester moving in for the attack on the Harpy does 2 damage. Harpy still standing. Arrow launcher takes a shot at Peter. Whump. Peter is damaged by 6, but even that cannot bring down the mighty Phoenix. I move in Jaha to try and block the Orc from doing more damage. The arrow launcher is really the least of my worries. But we're going to have Peter attack the High Priest, who's down to 1 hit point now. But then he gets an action and will probably heal himself up to full by calling. Oh, no. He only goes up to about half life. Exciting times for people who like to get kills. But here to ruin it all, the Harpy moves in to attack Rick and deals 15 damage. Vlad the Bunny says, Vlad the Gamera. You're not wrong, pal. Don't want to go stand in that rose bush. So we'll stay here. Rick is going to attack this High Priest. No. The Harpy's down to 1 hit point, so he's going to attack that because he craves kills so very badly. Harpy was defeated! Rick earned 49 experience, goes up to level 20. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. So that's May and Rick both making it to promotion level. Harpy attacks Bowie. Does 13 damage, a.k.a. Ziggy. Luke. A swing at the High Priest, dealing 7 damage. He gains 11 experience points. Chester moving down. It sure would be nice to get him to level 20 as well now, just to see what the difference is. Rick gets damaged by 9. Hangs on by the skin of his teeth, but what's this? The arrow launcher moves up. Shoots at him to finish him off, and he is defeated. A heavy attack for 6 whole damage. Peter is better off helping with the Orc, I guess. I was going to send him in against the Harpy, but we're going to have to let others take care of that creature. High Priest, again, is healing himself. He'll now be able to outscale Luke doing damage to him with heals, so hopefully he'll run out soon. Chester and Luke getting level ups is the biggest thing right now. Harpy got damaged by 10. Ziggy takes a swing at the Harpy and she dodges. He earns 1 experience point. Luke attacks the High Priest, does another 8 damage. 13 experience. Harpy will attack Ziggy. Both of them at 22 damage. Ziggy's down to 7 hit points. This is extremely bad. We'll send Chester in against the arrow launcher. He does 12 damage against the arrow launcher. Chester, ladies and gentlemen, 20 level. HP up by 2, attack up by 1, defense up by 1, agility up by 1. He is properly bottlenecking now, so only the Harpy can get at Ziggy and Jaha. I really don't want to lose this fight. So hopefully these two characters can finish off this confounded harpy. Jihad deals 10 damage. High Priest, unsurprisingly, heals itself again. The Phoenix continues to attack the Orc, bringing it down to 5 hit points. Arrow Launcher moves back to shoot at Luke. Luke's probably going to take this one. Oh, he's down to 1 hit point. Oh no! Ziggy's exhausted. I guess we're doing that fight all over again. Ouch difficulty, you guys. Well, time to raise some people. Sarah. Sarah's revived. Kazan. Slade. Oh, all of my money gone. That ouch difficulty, though. That is the bunny. And he says ouch is right. Well, you know what, guys? I keep only doing 3 combats because I inevitably lose one. So I'm not going to do that tonight. I actually do have the time to persevere and go on. But I am going to have to take a short Old Toby break, I think, as well as get something to drink. So I might leave you for like 15 minutes. And then come back and do this fight over, and then one more. Do I have another desire? Yes. Time to promo. Who do I want to promo? Okay, so Chester has 41 HP and attack, and then 26 defense and agility. Whereas Rick has 40 attack, less hit points, less defense and agility, or more defense and agility. So the major trade-off there is, I guess, for about 5 hit points, Rick gets higher agility and defense. I know I said I would keep the higher attack character as the Pegasus Knight, but I have to say, the fact that he has higher defense and agility does kind of make him more tempting to promote. But Chester's such a fan favorite. Fudge it. We're going to do Chester.
Chester wants to be promoted to a fighting class, right? Chester can be promoted to Paladin, okay? Now let me conduct the rite. The light blesses Knight Chester with the class of Paladin.
Paladins don't get any heals or anything, so don't get too excited. We are going to have to go back and get him some new weaponry, which is kind of excited because I think he gets to go back to Spear now, which gives him a bit of a ranged attack. Oh. Do I have another desire? I want to keep promoting. This means that Rick is probably going to be our first person to leave. Nothing personal, Rick. We just need you to get promoted. Luke didn't make it to level 20. Super disappointing. So I guess it's just up to May.
May wants to be promoted to the fighting class, right? May can be promoted to Bow Knight.
That's my music for the promotion, which is not the music in the actual game. Whew, that is some cold coffee. Okay, so now we're going to go back to town and pick up some new weapons. I know that it's annoying that I keep having to do that, but we all want my characters doing damage to things, right? Of course we do. So we go back to the south, back to Hassan. We try our very best to avoid any sort of random battles, which are not guaranteed in this game. But when they do happen, especially when you're streaming by the fight. It is kind of detrimental for them to pop up. Get out of my way, dwarf. I went too far.
What's up, boy?
Let's see. Ah, yes, the power spear. And who gets the power spear? Chester gets the power spear. 4 damage does not seem like it should be a heck of a lot more, but I bet you it will be. Meanwhile, we'll buy a robin arrow for young May. And yes, we'll equip it now. We only have 3,000 money left. Now, on the one hand, we don't have many characters left to promote, so that's okay. But on the other hand, I'm sure that somewhere in Creed's mansion, there will be a place to get new weapons. Okay, so that boosts our money just a little bit. So characters we still need to promote include Rick, who we're not going to promote, Luke, and Kazan. Kazan arguably will take a lot more work, but we'll get there. I think the trick to not getting into random fights is just to step around the spot that can trigger it. So, for example, the one next to Hassan there, if you step one space to the left of Hassan, it may trigger. Here, I think what you can do is step up and around. Vlad the Bunny asks, is there a Morty character? I don't think so. I'll have to look. I actually looked it up. Originally, I thought there was something like 50 characters, but it's actually closer to 30. It must be more than 30, but it was a lot less than I thought. Might be closer to 40. I confuse some of the characters in this game with some of the characters in Shining Force 1. For example, you get... Shining Force 1 has a pretty cool cast, actually, compared to this one. I just don't find the story or the game itself as fun. Like, it's not one big world that you can explore. Although, really, it's very similar to this in a lot of ways. Wait. Oh, we already went through all this. Do I have to do all of this all over again? You'll excuse me if I skip it. It's already humiliating that I have to do this fight twice. Stupid harpy. Queen of the harpies. Anyway, so Adler heard something and we're going back in and the fight starts immediately. Okay, so we're just going to quickly take a little break. I'll try to be real quick. 10-15 minutes tops. And when we come back, we'll have 2 more battles for you. I really hope. Including this one. back. Sorry about that, guys. Had to do a couple of things there, including making a super fancy diet soda with a little lemon squeeze on it. You see that? You see what I've done there? That's class. You gotta treat yourself every once in a while. Really gets into all your mouth sores, that lemon. It stings. Stings the mouth sores. I don't actually have any mouth sores, so it's all a ruse. A trick, if you will. Better? Yeah. It is better. Okay. We were doing a thing, and it wasn't going well. It was actually going just fine the last time until it didn't go fine. Luke is definitely one of the characters we still need to promo. Okay, this time we want that harpy coming for us. Or maybe I'll even just send Peter up to take it out. The harpies are the problem. Oh. Weird. It said I was having a network error on my stream, but it seems to be back. If you're still there watching, let me know. Okay. Well, there's Chester in his fancy new paladin outfit. Part of me feels like I scammed myself by letting him become a paladin, but, you know, what can you do? We're going to push Kazan back. There's May in her new fancy horse armor. Rick is going to be as weak as a kitten. Maybe actually get some combating with Sarah this time. That would be nice. Shining Force 1 gives you an abundance of healing characters, if I remember correctly. Whereas with this one, I think you only get 3 ever. Which isn't a lot. 4. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. One of them's optional. One of them is the is amongst the options of characters you get at Creed's Mansion, which is where we're going. Okay, Peter is going mano a mano with this harpy. Have I lost my mind? We'll see. Peter gains 8 experience points. Deals 13 damage. I cannot believe that Dark Madam is not casting a spell. She had literally... She could have hit 4 targets, not 5. See, I'm kind of hesitant to do anything with Rick, but I kind of have to keep leveling him a little to keep him relevant. His stats will carry over. Oh. Harpy goes right for Sarah and deals 21 damage, and then gets a second attack and kills her. Yay, fancy drink. Okay. Well, now I'm mad. Huggy Geralt is moving in. Straight for the hugs. He deals 9 damage, earns 8 experience points. This harpy's going straight for Luke, who dodges the attack. Good old Luke. Still surprising us after all these fights. Ziggy does 18 damage to the Dark Madam, gains 6 experience points. Kazan moves in to cast a Blaze spell, and probably won't kill the Dark Madam, which is too bad. Oh, down to 1 hit point. Really close. Harpy got damaged by 10 as well. Kazan earns 32 experience, which isn't full marks, but close enough. Really wouldn't mind giving Luke that kill. over Slade. But we live in dangerous times. Critical hit, does 23 damage. That's almost enough to one-shot her. Good job, Slade. Time to see what our new knight character can do. A paladin, I suppose. He's going to huck a spear. Huck. 7 damage. I mean, it's not awesome, but I'm way happier about it than 1 damage. Again, let's not take any chances this time. None of this, like, being selective with who kills harpies. Let's just take out the harpies. Jaha becomes level 2. HP up by 2, attack up by 1, defense up by 2, agility up by 1. Now, one of the biggest things about May's promotion is that her new weapon gives her extra range. So she doesn't... I mean, she could already attack on diagonals and from 2 squares away. Now she can do 3 squares. Or 2 diagonal. Like this. 13 damage to Harpy. She earns 12 experience points. May's looking up. May's place in the Shining Force is looking up, indeed. Peter the Phoenix continued in Mortal Kombat with this Phoenix, or Harpy, I should say, does 12 damage, 8 experience points. I'm actually going to move up Vlad to support / steal that kill. Probably not steal the kill. Squeaky. There we go. Ooh, a level 3 heal on the Harpy. Might be overkill. Oh, level 2 heal, my bad. Luke the Birdman. Critical hit for 11 damage on the High Priest, and he levels up to 20. Well, it's about time. Like I said, Rick needs to stay relevant. So we'll have him attack the High Priest for the most experience he can, or damage he can do. Harpy moves up to attack Kazan, which is no surprise, and one-shots him, which is also no surprise. Oh, Kazan. Will there ever be a rainbow? You might think, given that Kazan's so underleveled, he's probably likely to leave the Force, isn't he? No. The fact that he's a wizard makes him quite powerful. Even after I get the character that I will use the secret book on, he might get to stay because he's the only wizard I get until almost the last town in the game. So, you know, I don't really have a choice but to take him with me. If I want consistent AoE damage, which I probably am going to want. Just a guess. Geralt going in for the hug on the Harpy. The old Harpy hug. 9 damage, 8 experience. Again, we don't want to mess around here, so Slade goes to attack the Harpy and deals 13 damage. Harpy is defeated. Progress our forces down steadily. We don't really have anyone left to try and promote, so I don't have to really be concerned about feeding anybody in particular kills unless there's favorites. Peter takes down the Harpy and levels up by a lot. This kind of ruins Vlad going to help him, but what of that? Now, before we send Luke down, let's have a looky-loo. So there's still 2 Harpies left. 2 orcs, an arrow launcher, and a healer and a mage. Okay. The Harpies are the problem, so we want to try and draw them out. Most of our force is still up. We're missing Kaz and Sarah, and I think that's it. Jaha getting hit by an orc here. He takes 7 damage. Dark Madam moves up. Slade moving down here. May should be able to put a bit of a dent in an orc now. Dent. 8 damage. 8 experience points for that. Chester going in to try the same thing. Hopefully he does more damage. Oh, no. He only does 7. Between the two of them, they've knocked it down to half health. The only healer they have is pretty far away. Arrow launcher moves up to shoot at poor Jaha. He only gets damaged by 1. He is my orc. Hashtag he is my orc. Jaha does 12 damage, bringing the orc down to 3. Vlad flies over. Peter flies over slower. You'd think Peter could, like, eagle lift him out of there or something, but he doesn't. He chooses not to. Rick can only do damage to this arrow launcher, so he will. Oh, the Dark Madam walks up to smack him with her stick. Only does 6 damage, though, because she is a wizard. And as we all know, wizards don't do a lot of damage with sticks. Ziggy attacks this orc. 12 damage. Orc was defeated. Ziggy earns 14 experience. Levels up to 4. HP up by 2. MP up by 1. Attack up by 1. Defense up by 3. Agility up by 2. I love seeing defense go up by 3. If there's one stat I constantly want Ziggy to have more of, it's defense. Vlad dodges the Harpy's attack. That is super nice. Geralt goes in for the hug on Dark Madam, dealing 13 damage. He earns 13 experience. Pretty great. Both of the Harpies have engaged me now, so I need to be careful about that. Geralt got damaged by 15. See? Chester attacks the Harpy, dealing 7 damage. Slade moves in to deal with the Harpy head-on. And with a hop, skip, and a jump, he deals 12 damage, gaining 7 experience points. Peter, fearless as ever, moves in to attack the Harpy, harassing Vlad. Critical hit for 15 damage. That's almost half of the Harpy's hit points. I'm all about that. May, newly christened Bonite, shoots her Robin arrow, taking the Harpy out, 13 damage. Everybody's happy about it. She gains 42 experience points. Following a theme of let's not let anything live, Jaha walks over to the Harpy and pounds on him with a sword for 12 damage. 5 hit points remain. Arrow launcher taking a shot at Jaha does 1 damage. It never learned its lesson. Vlad is going to try to take out the remaining Harpy. He does 1 damage. He earns 1 experience point. The Harpy subdued over here. I send in Ziggy to kill the Dark Madam, which he accomplishes. 18 damage. He gains 1 experience point. Rick moves into Bottleneck and forces the High Priest into the front line. Luke does 3 damage on a critical hit against the Harpy, who now gets a shot and will attack Peter. She exhausts him, but he costs nothing to revive. And we've pretty much got this fight in hand now, which I think I said the last time I did this fight and didn't have it in hand at all. But I feel even more sure of my success this time. Chester throws his spear at the arrow launcher, dealing 14 damage. He gains 12 experience. May takes a shot at the arrow launcher. Deals 20 damage. It's pretty good. She gains 47 experience and increases to level 2. Quite happy about that. An orc attacks Jaha. He takes 7 damage. He is quite the little tank now. He moves aside from the harpy and hits the orc straight on, dealing 11 damage. Slade can't reach anybody. Geralt can't reach anybody. High Priest moves up and heals the harpy. No. No. Oh. Well, don't that leave a bad taste in your mouth. Vlad's attack, he deals 1 damage and gains... Oh, he gets a second attack. Oh my god. He only gained 1 experience point, though. Sad. Well, at least that adds a layer of intrigue to whether or not this fight can be won now. Throwing caution to the wind, I just tossed Ziggy right in there. Oh, Harpy dodges Geralt's attack. These Harpies, man, it's brutal. Harpy got damaged by 3. Rick moves in to finish off the High Priest and does it. 49 experience, he levels up to 21. That's what I mean about keeping him relevant. Because he's using the best weapon he can hold. Harpy kicks Geralt in the face for 13 damage. And it hurts. It hurts real bad. But we wade Chester into the flowers and shoot a spear at the Harpy, bringing her down by 7. Slade still can't reach anybody, effectively having been bottlenecked himself. May, in the meantime, takes a shot at the Harpy. And critical hits it for 20 damage. Harpy was defeated. We just have this one orc left to contend with now. Looks like it's going to take out Geralt. Which is too bad, but an acceptable loss. Jaha hits the orc for 11 damage. We move Vlad down to attack the orc. Here's hoping for a fire belch. But no. He does a critical hit of 1. Rick the Knight moves in to do the same. He does 3 damage to the orc this time. It's tempting to seal the deal with a bolt spell here, but we won't. We'll instead let Luke have a shot. He brings it down to 1 hit point. The orc takes a shot in return at Jaha, dealing 7 damage. And then May will finish it for us. Orc got damaged by 9 and was defeated. May earned 26 experience points. Poof.
I'm Elric, an archer. I had no idea how dangerous this pond was. You saved my life. Thank you.
You should thank Adler. He heard your cry for help and brought us here.
Oh, well, it was nothing. An elf always returns a favor. Please, let me help you.
Ziggy, looks like we found another friend.
Oh, thank you.
Elric the Archer has joined the force. The farce. So, finally, we come to the impasse where we can switch someone out on the team.
Now let's go see Mr. Creed.
Apollo Creed? Maybe. So I believe what we're in store for after we go revive and promote and other such things Oh, actually, what we need from in here. Ziggy, are you ready for battle? Yes, I am.
Choose which item.
Well, sir, we want the silver tank, and we want to pass it to Elric the archer.
Elric now has the silver tank. Choose which item.
We don't want any items now. Elric, you see, is one of 2 characters that can use the silver tank and be promoted into a brass gunner. We are going to do this immediately because, as we've all seen, it's definitely better to have a character promoted so he can use the advanced weapons. But first, before we worry about any of that, let's go up and see this priest. Sarah's exhausted, but he can recall the soul. You know, it's expensive, but he can do it. Kazan. Kazan really has to become my next project. He has to be babysat. I have to get him promoted one way or the other. Now, I'm afraid I only have less than an hour left in my time here. Okay, nobody's dead. So if I lose the next fight, win or lose the next fight, I'm probably going to have to make it my last battle.
Elric wants to be promoted to a fighting class, is that right? Elric can be promoted to Bergen with the silver tank, okay? Archer Elric with a class of Bergen. Bergen.
The Bergen isn't the worst. It looks pretty cool. Elric was successfully promoted to Bergen. We're going to leave Rick alone until we get that juicy, juicy Pegasus wing. And Luke will promote to a Bird Battler, BDBT. Unfortunately for Luke, that still doesn't make him that good. So I think, unfortunately, what I'm going to have to do is take... somebody has to leave, and it's probably going to be Rick. Even though I could keep him on to keep him relevant. And I've never really done that before, so maybe we'll kick Luke out. I have to go buy weapons. That's what we're doing here. There might be a town with new weapons in it at Creed's house, which sounds weird, but just run with me on that one. But I can't guarantee it, so I keep running back here to get weapons. So, for example, we need a broadsword for Luke now, which will bring him up to not as much damage as Sarah. And I think Elric can use a robin arrow, which he couldn't before. I think that's it, though. But we'll sell her crap. The steel arrow. And the steel sword. Basically, I'm over steel. Anyway, leaving that area, we go and get into the caravan, and then we'll muck about with our party. So we'll purge. Who quits the battle party? Well, I think it's going to be Luke. I really do. Because Luke can fly, and that's great. But an archer does more damage.
Luke, why don't you take a rest at home now? Who quits the battle party? Did you change your mind? Who joins the battle party?
Elric.
Elric, fight bravely in the front.
Who joins the battle party? Nobody else, you crazy old man. Okay, so avoiding all the random fights, we proceed. We go up and around here to avoid that random chance. And if we stick to the south reaches... Oh, no. Is there a cave or something we can go in here? Fairy said, move this rock in this manner and... Got it. Thanks, Fairy. Oh. Ziggy, come on. So we go into the secret tunnel, and it's very secret. And then we come out here, and then we get into a fight. And right past this fight is Creed's house.
I smell more invaders from the east. This is the territory of Mr. Creed.
They weren't even looking at me when they said that.
Go away. But we have to see him. Please let us pass. No, leave now.
Oh my gosh, they got more guys.
Never mind. Get him, boys.
All right. Well, for the first time in our hit... Oh, no, it's not even true, because we've still got unpromoted Kazan. I was going to say we had a fully promoted battle team, but we do not. Okay, so let's have a look at our surroundings here. Are these still the old arrow launchers? They are. That's ridiculous. Okay. So we still got old arrow launchers. We have a new enemy in the skeleton who hit pretty hard and have a medicinal herb on them. So, you know, you have to be wary about that. There are 2 skeletons. So there are big monsters. I see 1 harpy. I see 2 harpies. So we got 2 harpies. Okay. Rick is also not promoted. We're going to have to keep feeding him. He's going to have to be our new Slade. He's going to need a kill or a level per fight. Level per fight is what he'll need. But Kazan needs the most love. Be nice to start getting levels for Sarah as well. And we can't forget Chester. Everybody needs levels, basically. Ziggy and Peter, least of all, need them. But even then, I would take levels with those characters. Also got to feed some kills to Vlad. Everybody needs kills. When you get right down to it. Uh-oh. Skeletons attack. Ooh, Vlad got damaged by 11. Vlad is exhausted. Now here's the thing. If Vlad is getting physically meleeed down in 1 hit, that means that he's no longer useful. So unfortunately, he might have to leave next. Meanwhile, Ziggy moves in to attack the skeleton, deals 11 damage. Wolfman Geralt moves up. Hugs the undead creature, dealing 7 damage. Brass Gunner Elric moves into range. That's what the brass gun looks like. Very steampunk, very cool. He deals 4 damage. Not very much. Instant regret. Didn't even get to see what Luke looked like promoted. Geralt takes 10 damage from the orc. Oh man, this is so your time to shine, Kazan. Take the skeleton out. And he does. 12 damage to the skeleton. Dropped a broadsword, which Kazan retrieves. Gains 49 experience and levels up to 18. Only 2 more levels to go, and he gets the D-Soul spell, which is a one-hit KO if it hits. And it doesn't hit often, believe me. Chester throwing a spear at the orc. The lead orc, I should say. There's plenty of orcs there. Slade also moving up to take a swing at the orc. Slade has really come a long way on this team. Ooh, 7 damage back. He levels up to 3. HP, MP up by 2, attack up by 1, defense up by 2, attack up by 1. Great stuff. Peter moves in to attack the other orc. Critical hit, 16 damage. He gains 5 experience points. I don't think I can reach anything with May. Jaha wades into the desert to start fighting the orc. He deals 10 damage. Sarah casts heal level 1. We still haven't actually managed to hit anything with our newly promoted Sarah yet. She gains 10 experience points. I just need her as a healer too badly. Rick runs around. We'll move Ziggy in to hit this orc. He deals another 10 damage, or gains 1 experience point. We don't need to really feed Ziggy kills. Geralt attacks the orc, dealing 8 damage. Orc was defeated. He gains 38 experience points and levels up to 2. HP up by 2, attack up by 2, defense up by 2, agility up by 1. I am loving these promoted level ups. Such better stat increases. Oh, I hate those harpies. I don't know the status of whether or not I can actually proceed by killing a specific enemy at the end, or if I have to kill everybody. Probably gotta kill everybody. Chester attacks the orc. I didn't have to get quite that close and gains 7 experience points. We move Kazan up. He casts Blaze 2 to secure himself yet another kill. Orc was defeated. He gains 49 experience points. Poof. Gonna shoot ourselves another shell at this hero orc. Bang. Critical hit for 8 damage. Elric earned 8 experience. Jaha's gonna go ahead and finish him off. Orc was defeated. Jaha earned 26 experience points. We're doing okay. We're going to take the 2 archers south with Bowie and Jaha to go deal with those harpies, and everyone else is going to proceed to the north. The reason I do this is that archers appear to do extra damage to harpies. And that's good. So cockily, I'm going to send Peter right into the high priest's face, and he dodges, immediately punishing my impudence. Could get worse. Oh, he instead decides to go shoot Slade with a level 2 blast, dealing 8 damage. How dare he? We're going to leave that arrow launcher to Rick. Instead, we'll move Ziggy up. Harpy moves in to engage. Surprisingly, May, of all characters. She gets hurt for 18. Girl trying to avoid the desert. Rick attacks the arrow launcher. He deals 13 damage. Gains 11 experience points. Dark Madam moves to punish Peter with her stick, dealing 6. he's going to move over here and help with this Dark Priest. Thunk. High Priest, 10 damage. Chester levels up to 2, HP up by 3, attack up by 1, defense up by 1, agility up by 1. Meh. Elric moves into the desert and shoots at the harpy as he goes. Luckily, there's nothing to heal these harpies. She gets damaged by 8, which is not as much damage as May would have done. Slade positions himself to attack the Dark Madam, dealing 16 damage. May, like Elric, will proceed into the desert and take a shot at the harpy as she goes. She deals 14 and gains 9 experience points. High Priest heals himself at level 1. Greedy, greedy High Priest. And Jaha moves in to try and kill this harpy. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, and he does it. 12 experience. Jaha levels up to 3, HP up by 2, attack up by 1, defense up by 2, agility up by 1. We're doing it. Oh, the arrow launcher moves up to shoot May. Deals 8 damage. That arrow launcher has to be stopped. Here we go. Sarah attacking the High Priest. Hi-ya! 13 damage. Pretty good for a character that used a stick before. As we all know, sticks are not great weapons. Peter leading the way. Dodged again. That's 2 times in a row he's been dodged by cloth-wearing sissies. Harpy moves into attack our hero, Ziggy. He gets damaged by 13, but hangs tough. Rick moves into attack the arrow launcher, deals 14 damage. Ziggy puts his sword through the harpy that's attacking him for 14 damage. Geralt moves up to attack the High Priest. I hope he doesn't kill him, but he does. 31 experience for Geralt, which is probably for the best. Peter takes another clubbing at the hands of the Dark Madam. She sure loves inflicting pain with her stick. Chester throws a spear at her. Might kill her. Nope, down to 1 hit point. Perfect for Kazan. Elric tries to move forward in order to shoot that feisty broad, but cannot make it. Slade tries to avoid death at the hands of the Dark Madam. Peter the Phoenix, who can now fly over mountains, moves in. Oh, May the Bow Knight really doesn't want to get killed. Jaha is the only character that can move through. Well, May the Bow Knight is about to die. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. May's exhausted. Sarah goes in to heal. She heals Geralt, recovering him up to full hit points. Hey, I got a new follower. I don't know if you're still watching, follower, but that's wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm trying to close in on my 50 followers. I'm still not quite there. Oh, Rick deals 12 damage to the arrow launcher and defeats it. Gains 40 experience. No level up. Oh. Dark Madam, being kind of a B-word, shoots Sarah and Geralt with a freeze spell. Now, what's weird there is that she could have actually hit 3 characters instead of 2, but decided to only hit 2. Ziggy gets kicked in the face for 10 damage and is poisoned. He's got a lot of hit points, but he's kind of got to make a pilgrimage up to see Sarah now, which is too bad. Ziggy attacks the harpy for good measure, though, and deals 14 damage, gets a second attack, and deals another 13. That harpy is eviscerated. Poof. Ziggy gets damaged by 2 because of the poison. Okay, there's no point in just sacrificing myself willy-nilly against that group because they've got a healer. He only needs to do 1 damage, so I'm going to use Blaze 2. Or Blaze 1, I mean. A little campfire. Damage by 6. Dark Madam was defeated. 49 experience. Kazan levels up to 19. That's how you do it. That's how you get that character's level up. Poof. Oh, the Dark Madam runs up at top speed to shoot Peter with Freeze, level 2. He takes 11 damage. He laughs at her pathetic attempts to damage him. Sarah will heal 1 on Geralt. 10 hit points recovered. What's interesting now is that maybe not so much, just because you know, she still could be dealing damage relatively, but the fact that a lot of characters don't even get full experience for kills now means that Sarah's 10 experience points per heal can sometimes be a much more viable option than her attacking in terms of growth. So that's good. Peter attacks the Dark Madam for 17 damage. Oh, and gets a second attack for another 14. Dropped a Protect Ring. Peter received the Protect Ring. Protect Rings are basically like a power ring, but they defend you. Pretty great. Ziggy gets damaged by 2 because of the poison. Gotta remember that Ziggy's poisoned. Can't let him go running into the fight first. Skeleton moves up to melee Peter and takes him down. Peter got damaged by 22. Wow. Skeleton hits hard. Slade's going to stay right where he's at. So I think even if Kazan did kill both of those enemies, he wouldn't level up. I think he'd be shy a couple experience points. So there's no need to be too gracious about this. We got 2 levels with Kazan already. That's good enough. I mean, if we can secure him another kill, I'm going to do it because I'm a completionist and I want that to happen. But if I can't, that's just the way it goes. I'm more concerned about Ziggy not getting murdered. Oh, High Priest moves in to smack Chester with his stick. Once again, questionable why that's what he would choose. Geralt moves in to give him a hug. 14 damage. Geralt gains 9 experience. Skeleton comes in. Hits Geralt for 15 damage. Ziggy once again damaged by poison. Shall we try to soul out? Yeah, why not? What can it hurt? Kazan cast D-Soul, level 1. Spell has no effect on High Priest. Notice the Reaper circling over his head. I don't know what affects that from working or not. High Priest has 5 health left. Rather than let him heal, we're going to just let Slade deal with him. 15 damage. High Priest was defeated. Slade earned 16 experience points. Move our Brass Gunner in. Jaha moves up to hit the Skelly. Wham. 9 damage. Jaha earns 15 experience points. It's tempting to move Sarah in there like that. It really is. But she'll get knocked out, I'm pretty sure. So instead, she's going to heal herself, recover 11 hit points, gain 10 experience points, and levels up to 2. HP up by 2, MP up by 1, attack and defense up by 1, agility up by 1, and heal up to level 3. That's the greatest part of all. Ziggy gets damaged by 2 because of the poison. Kazan's going to blaze 2 on this mofo. Boom, 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 boom. 11 damage. Skeleton got dropped by 11. Kazan got 18 experience. Geralt going for the hugs. Brings him down to 2 life. He earns 13 experience. He gets to attack. He attacks Geralt. He knocks Geralt out, costing me money. Chester stands aside. Somebody else is getting this kill. Somebody by the name of Kazan. Or, no, Elric can't reach him. Sarah will stand. Oh, Sarah should have detoxed Ziggy. No! Watch it happen. Yep. Exactly enough like... Ziggy's exhausted. Even though that was literally just one more hit that we needed on him. Well, I'm sorry to end on such a womp womp note, guys, but I gotta go eat a bunch of hot dogs. Like, that's just basically the worst. Oh, we were so close. I didn't do it 20, says ref one. Thanks, man. I'm glad someone witnessed that, because that was BS. But I mean, it is kind of my own fault for parting the waters, so to speak. I had a nice defensive lineup that he probably couldn't have just snuck through. Well, what can you do? Geralt's exhausted. And we'll save since we're right here. The light allows you to resume your adventure. Will you continue your adventure? No. Then take a rest before you continue.
That's it for today. Yes, you'd better take a rest now. Come back again.
And then she's not even stirring. She's just looking in the pot. Well, everybody, I'm Son of Stapes. Thanks for tuning in to watch me play Shining Force 2. One of these days, we're going to beat this game. I will probably not be streaming very much in the next 2 days because I'm working, but hopefully Sunday night I'll be back with something fresh. Maybe even tonight I'll be back with something fresh, but we'll see. Otherwise, come check out my Baldur's Gate 2 stream on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's kind of like this. I narrate it. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the flippity flop.